Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. It's another segment, different segment that we haven't done for quite a few months actually. Arsenal in news. Now you might be surprised again that I'm doing this live video at this time of the day, and it's only because I'm on half term from my schooling job, and it allows me some time to do to sit back and relax and also do some live videos and more materials for the channel, which is Canon for a TV. Right. So this bit of news I'm doing is, if you've probably seen from the title bar, is to do with Dani Ceballos. And apparently, Dani Ceballos has met with Real Madrid club president Florentino Perez. Yeah, so during the international break, he's taken the opportunity, apparently, according to the Metro, to go and meet with the club president. And it seems that Dani Ceballos wants to have, or even maybe seek out a permanent move to Arsenal. Now, when I read this bit of news, two things came to mind. Is Dani Ceballos thinking, well, because I'm not currently, obviously, in the Real Madrid squad, and I don't think he's probably going to ever feature in the squad as long as Zinedine Zidane remains at the helm over there. That was one thing. The other thing I was thinking about as well is that, does Dani Ceballos see the situation? Again, I'm not putting the cats amongst the pigeons, but I'm just thinking, with the situation with Arsenal and Unai Emery and Mesut Ozil, has he seen or heard something that will probably give him the impression that maybe he could be the replacement, the natural replacement for Mesut Ozil? Again, I'm just just looking at this news story and thinking, before we heard the story or the news that Dan Tobias was happy to come to Arsenal, but he didn't want a permanent move. I know there was some complication with his agent. He didn't want his agent to receive any kind of a monetary reward if there was going to be any kind of negotiations for a permanent move. But why the change in the wind all of a sudden? Why is it that Dan Tobias allegedly now has gone to speak to club president Perez to seek out a permanent move at Arsenal? So, guys, I don't know what do you think? Is that something that yeah, that Dani Ceballos has probably seen, and he's probably thinking, I'm not going to feature obviously now at Real Madrid. My best bet would be, if I really want to get some first team football, I'm here, I'm at Arsenal, things are going rosy. The current number 10 at Arsenal might be heading for the door. So let me take this door of opportunity. I don't know, guys. Tell me what do you think? Am I reading too much into it? Personally, if it were me, I would take Dani Ceballos. Absolutely, with no qualms about it. Fortunately, I've been able to go and see 3 matches this season, courtesy of Eltel, the original Godfather himself. And I can honestly say, when I've seen Dani Ceballos play, even during the games, you can see he's communicating with the manager as well as Guendouzi does. Watching him, celebrate with the other players when they score, not when he scored, but when they have scored. Really, it fills me with what's the word I'm looking for? With positivity. The downside is, people are saying that, well, really, Dani Ceballos doesn't have the physicality, does not have the physicality, I repeat, to really perform, game in and game out in the Premiership and maybe across all competitions. Personally, I think for almost all players in the Premiership, they find it hard because the Premier League is one of the toughest. I'm not going to say it's one of the best leagues, but it's one of the toughest leagues, in Europe. because of the pace, yeah, the physicality, and there's so many games played. So Unai Emery will use his common knowledge. He's not going to obviously play Dani Ceballos in all the games there. It's a punishing season. But I'm just thinking, has Dani Ceballos seen the writing on the wall for one player in particular? And the question is Dani Ceballos, is he a natural replacement for Mesut Ozil? Ceballos, for me, maybe his best position is probably in the number 8, maybe not the number 10 role. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Am I just reading too much into this? I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird that, again, that he began the season, if we are to believe what we read, is that he didn't want a permanent move. He just wanted to get some, play time, game time, under his belt to, obviously keep fit. He has featured for Spain, but at club level, Zinedine Zidane, it's not going to happen. But then all of a sudden, now during the international break, we hear that he appears to want a permanent move at Arsenal. It just seems, quite bizarre to me. I don't know what's happened in that time there. Weird. In regards to the physicality, I know from the first match he had there, almost the whole fan base was thinking, yeah, he reminds me personally of Perez. It could be Fabregas, Cazorla, all scrunched into one person there. But he hasn't actually kept that high level. He's done very, very well, and he's even scored a goal for us. He scored a goal. He's played the best part of I think, 10 matches for us. He's got 2 assists and he scored 1 goal. So yeah, guys, would you want to keep Dan Ceballos, on a permanent deal, or do you think we can probably get a better player somewhere else in Europe, or maybe look closer to home amongst the youth players there? But yeah, it's a strange one. It's a strange one. So let me just quickly go into the chat and let's see who has joined me. And I've got Arsenal vlog. This is, I think Ceballos will stay. What do you mean he will stay? He will stay at Arsenal, or do you think he will stay at Real Madrid? And he also goes on to talk about a massive tonight game for us tonight. It is, yeah. I mean, I've done my preview about that, and I can't say I honestly can say it's going to be this, but I'm predicting a 1-1 draw. Chris Wilder, Sheffield United, Monday Night Football, where it's going to be windy and rainy. I just don't think some of our players are going to fancy it too much. And you throw that in there, you throw it in the mix as well. The fact that we're still a team stuttering. Yeah, of course. Like I said in my preview, that we've reached the dizzy heights of 3rd in the Premier League, although we're not there now. We're in 5th position. I just see those elements there, coming to the forefront, and I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. But I'm going for 2-1 Arsenal, by the way. I take Ceballos. I think he is a good player. We can make him that Santi or Ramsey role. Okay, his communication is okay because he is a guy who shows his passion. And that is going to lead me to the other bit of information I want to talk about during my live preview in regards to Sheffield United versus Arsenal. The player I wanted to talk about was Socrates Papastathopoulos. I've always championed this player who, for me, when he came in, the Greek warrior, and I guess I'm an O-type fan. I want players to show the passion. I want players to be pumping the fist when they've made a strong challenge. That's for me. If you want a captain, because there are different types of captains, But if you want a captain to lead by example, to show the passion, then I guess Socrates is that type of player. He's not on form at the moment. Now, is that down to him playing with David Luiz? Is there some problem with the communication? One doesn't trust the other. Or is it the fact that literally Papastathopoulos Socrates is not good enough for the Premier League? I think it probably could be a little bit of both. He has seen a little bit out of sorts, and I think it is the fact that he probably doesn't trust David Luiz, and that's my personal opinion. I think that's what's happening. But again, guys, come into the chat, and tell me what you think. But if you're going to go on form, and I think that's how it must be, that if you have 11 players, they cannot be chosen on name and reputation alone. If they're in form, they should be chosen to be in a starting 11. If they're not in form, they should be moved out, put in the reserves, or call them back when another player is not on form or making silly errors and mistakes. But as of now, personally, I don't think Socrates should be in a starting 11. Again, guys, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Also, Vlogs come back and says he cares. Okay, may not have physicality, but still he shows passion and desire. He's a leader who cares. Okay, I honestly think that we get Ceballos end of the season, whatever happens. Yeah, but like I say, no. What has changed? Because he didn't come to Arsenal in that frame of mind. He was happy to come here on the loan deal. So what's happened in that short space of time? It's very, very strange. But yeah. So that is what I wanted to talk about. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah, actually, it was yesterday. In regards to them, in regards to Socrates, I just think that he's probably suffering because he doesn't probably trust David Luiz too much. But in my starting 11, I didn't even have him. I had Chambers, Holding, Luiz, and Tierney as forming my back four. But okay, anything else? Okay, so it seems like also Vlogs is dominating the chat at the moment. If we get Champions League football, okay, then maybe we should look an upgrade. An upgrade on who? On Socrates or Ceballos? Okay, and actually, well, you're saying already that Socrates needs to go. Well, I think there's still a smaller group now of players who need to be shown the door. I've always said that the team has to evolve. If it doesn't evolve, we can't move forward. We can't move forward. So as much as some people might not like to hear it, I know there's Mesut Ozil did the interview there, and I've got to say that if a player is not showing his desire or passion or his want to train, then how can he be chosen for to be in the first team? I know Unai Emery has said in the past there are other players who are more deserving than Mesut Ozil. So if he's basing that on what he's seen in the training ground, Unai Emery has every right to drop a player because it would send a negative message across the squad that players who are not showing up, not putting 100% in training, but yet they're getting chosen to be in the first team, sends a bad message out there. So that's what I think anyway. Just a couple more before I wrap up this Arsenal news. Lewis, Holding, Chambers, Tierney. Yep, that's mine as well. And if we can't move forward, blame Kroenke family and Ozil is the problem of our wage bill. Okay. You say that, but like you just said there, Josh Kroenke, he cares. And if we believe what he has told us recently, that we must not think it's going to be the end, wait and see in the January transfer window, then let's see what happens in the transfer window. But I just still think that we have a smaller group of players who could and should leave in the next available transfer window, which is January. But guys, you can tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. All right, let's see any more comments before I wrap this up. So yes, like I said, the main news is yeah, Dani Ceballos has apparently met Real Madrid's club president, and he appears to be seeking a permanent move now to the Emirates, and I for one definitely would have him on a permanent deal or contract at Arsenal. Again, what has changed? What has he seen? Is it more to do with what he's seen at Real Madrid or what he has seen at Arsenal? Has he seen something that we're not privy to? But either way, definitely, I would take and have the young lad. He's only 23 years of age, and I know some people are saying that, going by what he said in the past, that he's not going to give up on his dream of playing for Real Madrid. Sometimes you might want the sun and you only get the moon. It doesn't make you a bad player. And it's a revolution. You can feel it. It's a revolution happening at Arsenal. So yeah, Martinelli, Saka, Willock, just name but a few. It's a revolution. It's a good time now to be a young Arsenal player at Arsenal. So why not be part of that revolution, Ceballos? So again, you've probably seen something that we're probably going to hear about. But yeah, again, what's changed? What has he seen? What has he heard to change his mind? Is it more to do with Zinedine Zidane at Real Madrid, or is it something to do with what he's seen and heard at Arsenal? It's a strange one. It's a strange one for me, but definitely, guys. If you've just seen Canon 4 TV for the first time and you like what you see, make sure you do us a favor and subscribe, and also hit the notification button so you can receive all the latest news right here on Canon 4 TV. Mondays, we usually have the fan comments, going through all your comments that you put on the channel throughout the whole 7 days. Although there's not one today because the match is going to be usually it's 5 o'clock, but there's not one today. We're going to be returning back with that segment next week, Monday the 28th. And we have the Voice of Reason with my brother giving us his own take on things on Arsenal every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And this Friday is the Easy Talk, where we have a panel of guests going through and talking about and having a good old laugh about Arsenal and other bits and pieces. So join us on Mondays for fan comments, Wednesdays for the Voice of Reason, and Friday for the Easy Talk. Guys, any more comments? If you want to come and talk to me and tell me what's your take on Dani Ceballos, and why do you think he's probably changed his mind to seek a permanent move to Arsenal? Is it to do with Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane, or is it to do with Arsenal? He's probably seen or heard something that we're not privy to. But one more time into the chat. There is no way Ceballos will get into a Real Madrid side. Yeah. Again, I know that's his dream, but we're told never ever give up on your dream. I mean, look at Fabregas. He always said he wanted to go and play for Barcelona, and where did he go? He went to Barcelona, did he? So to Ceballos, I would say, don't give up on your dream. But as of now, if you're going to really seek a permanent move to come to Arsenal, we'll definitely take you. Definitely take you. Okay, and I think that is it. That is it. Right. So again, guys, if you've watched Canon 42 for the first time and you like what you see, make sure to subscribe, like, subscribe, and share, and also hit the notification button so you can receive all the latest and greatest news here, right here on Canon 40 TV. So if you've been wondering who or what you've been watching Canon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. And Friday night football is back.